Good evening, everyone. As we enjoy this cozy, very cold Sunday, it's a perfect time for family moments. And as always, 9 p.m. on Newsline is our dedicated family hour. I am Claire Adelabu Abdurrazak, and I'm so glad you are able to join us tonight again. Now, for those of you who are probably new to Newsline, let me give you a quick rundown. Now, Newsline will give you a very unique glimpse into Nigeria, and we will dive into our cultural heritage, celebrate our traditions, and of course explore the stories that shape our lives. Tonight's show is very special, and it has extra special touch for everyone. We'll begin by taking you on a virtual trip to Maiduguri, where the local music and mouth-watering delicacies are sure to captivate and transport you to this very fascinating city. But that's just the beginning. We have a story that rekindles beautiful memories, and that's the wedding of Abdul Aziz, son of Brigadier General Mustafa Dennis Onayeveta, who was aide-de-camp to late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Now, this grand event was a nostalgic reunion of cherished times, and our correspondent Najatu Tijani usually covers the military from a very safe distance. But tonight, though she bravely steps into the world of the Nigerian Air Force, showing us the intense training and immense sacrifices that these dedicated men and women endure to protect our skies, her behind-the-scenes report will definitely give you a newfound respect for the courage and commitment of our airmen. Now, we will also share with you a heart-wrenching love story of a 25-year-old undergraduate who is now partially blind due to a tragic assault by her ex-boyfriend. Now, this sad tale of love gone wrong will surely touch your heart and make you reflect on the complexities of our human relationships. We would also bring you the brave fight for justice for Fumilayo, a story that highlights the strength and resilience of our community, standing up for one of their own. So, settle in, relax, and get ready for an intriguing and emotional journey with us tonight on Newsline. But first, let's kick off with the headline news. And Elizabeth Amoruyi is our newscaster tonight. And by the way, Lizzie, with all the incredible stories you cover, have you ever thought about what it would be like to be on the other side? Maybe in the military yourself.
Okay, Claire. Well, sincerely, I commend their efforts and I love them. But really, I think I would leave that to Najatu and Ismail Musa. Right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news segment. Here's the news of the day. President Bola Tinubu, alongside other African leaders, are in Accra in Ghana for the 6th midterm African Union meeting. Educating African fit for the 21st century is the theme of the meeting. Musa Babalu reports.
This high-level gathering of African leaders is taking place in Accra, Ghana. The media coordinating meeting, established in 2017, is part of the AU's institutional reforms aimed at ensuring effective collaboration between various African bodies. This year's summit is coming at a critical juncture for Africa as the continent continues to push for greater economic and political cooperation among its nations and international partners. Key items on the agenda include addressing the status of regional integration in Africa, evaluating the AU's early warning and conflict prevention mechanisms, and promoting cooperation among regional economic communities to accelerate integration.
The draft budget for 2025, which has been submitted and has been minutiously prepared by the Commission with all its skills and those who have contributed to it. The level of statutory contribution to the budget, which has been capped to $200 million American dollars, taken into account the pressures that are exerted on most of our member states.
Earlier, Ministers of Foreign Affairs from the member countries held a meeting setting agenda for the African leaders. Ambassador Yusuf Tuga of Nigeria was also in attendance.
I wish to use this opportunity to urge member states to strengthen their commitment to the secretariat, as it has the potential to strongly shape the future of the continent, strengthen its position in the global market, uplift the lives of its people, and accelerate the sustainable growth and development of the continent.
Development partners, including the President of the African Development Bank and the United Nations, are expected to make presentations at the meeting. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, members of the African Union are calling for the establishment of the Central Bank of Africa, African Monetary Fund, and African Investment Bank to address financial challenges associated with infrastructural development on the continent. The proposals were tabled at the ongoing midterm African Union meeting in Accra. Musa Babalu once again reports that issues on conflicts in Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Horn of Africa were raised.
Financing key infrastructural projects, including health and education, remains a major challenge in Africa. The African Development Bank estimates that between $130 and $170 billion are required for infrastructure development each year on the continent. These financial constraints, among others, is what the Midterm African Union Summit taking place in Accra, Ghana, is focusing on.
Republic of Mauritania.
The host president, Nana Akufo-Addo, said there is a need for the continent to streamline its financial institutions to prevent what he described as counterproductive practices. He forwarded the proposal for the establishment of an African central bank, including a demand for 10% from multilateral companies executing projects on the continent.
It will enable us to scale up our investments in key areas such as education, infrastructure, healthcare, and technology, driving comprehensive and sustainable development across the continent.
President of Mauritania, Mohamed Ghazouani, who is the current chairman of the African Union, said effective coordination and partnership with partners are the panacea for development challenges facing the continent. He said integration and cooperation among member countries will make the Union stronger and give it a voice in the United Nations.
The AFCFTA is actually giving us that hope. It's giving us the hope of having transformation on the continent, especially in terms of free movement and of people and goods on the continent. And this definitely is going to help us to speed up the continental integration efforts.
Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Away from the AU Midterm Summit, President Bola Tinubu states federal government's resolve to create job opportunities, diversify Nigeria's economy as part of efforts to ensure food security and stimulate economic growth across the country. This was at the launch of a multi-billion naira agricultural empowerment program in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. Yunisa Suleiman reports.
The Yobe State Mega Agricultural Empowerment Program is a deliberate initiative by the state government to improve agricultural practices in the state, to add value to the life of the citizenry in food security and national strategic food sufficiency agenda. Flagging off the scheme, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, says Yobe State revolution in agriculture is in line with his administration's resolve to transform the sector, and the more reason for the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development.
Every intervention to boost agriculture plays a crucial role in the local economy. The aim of an initiative like this transcends food security. It opens new avenues for employment, particularly for our youth and women, who are the backbone of our rural communities. Government will not tolerate any act of sabotage to frustrate our commitments to make agriculture attractive, profitable, sustainable, and economically viable, and to guarantee food sufficiency and food security in the state.
The launching of the Agricultural Empowerment Program, the first of its kind, also saw the President approving Yobe State's request for additional resources to support its agricultural transformation drive. More than 19 billion naira was expended to procure farming inputs, with about 6,000 beneficiaries being targeted, in the 178 political wards across the 70 local government areas of the state. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Let's talk governance. Chairman Senate Committee on Privatization, Senator Orji Uzokalo, is advocating part-time legislature at both federal and state levels. Senator Carlos says this would help the nation cut costs and enhance public trust in the polity. This, he says, is a good idea if his colleagues and other members of the Houses of Assembly will agree to sit for 3 months, do constitutional amendments, sit when there's an emergency, or to do a presidential bid, then go back instead of sitting full-time. Senator Carlos says it would be part of measures to reduce cost of governance, saying regional government is a viable alternative and ministers will operate in same manner. In other news, President of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says the quality of his refineries' petroleum products are not just in tandem with international standards, but of superior quality when compared to imported products. This was during a tour of the refinery by the leadership of the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. Joel Okwola reports that the tour provided opportunity for the lawmakers to attest to the readiness of the Dangote refinery.
Principal officers of the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, are here to tour what many have described as a national asset. The lawmakers were marveled by the level of work at the jetty and the unique feature of its trestle, which boldly reflects the doggedness of Aliko Dangote. The refinery guards quality jealously, hence it boasts of one of the best laboratories in the world. Diesel independently purchased by the lawmakers at 2 filling stations fell short of the benchmark set by international standards with a ppm of 2,631 and 1,839, which is far below international standards of 50 ppm, when it was subjected to scientific tests through a foolproof process. 2 among the visiting legislators were assigned to get the sample of the end products of the diesel produced at Dangote refinery, and after scientific scrutiny, the outcome was 87.6 ppm and a flash point which is far superior to the imported products in terms of quality and safety. Speaker House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas would describe the tour as an eye-opener, commended the immense contributions of Aliko Dangote to the Nigerian economy.
The success of Dangote refinery is not just a victory for its stakeholders. It is a beacon of hope for all Nigerians. It promises to integrate our economy through job creation, generate significant foreign exchange savings, and fortify our energy security.
For the president of the Dangote Group and other stakeholders, the interest of Nigeria matters in becoming a global energy powerhouse, and with Dangote refinery, that vision is fast becoming a reality.
As of today, we are 87 ppm. Latest Tuesday will be at 50 ppm. By beginning of August, we'll be at 10 ppm. So in terms of quality, we are doing very, very well. By latest 10th or 12th of August, PMS will be ready.
Dangote refinery can produce more than 53 million liters of petrol daily. Its fertilizer plant can also meet both local demand and exports. In Lagos, Joel Okwola, NTA News.
To climate matters, humanity now has 4 years to prevent a 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in global warming, with the global climate clock countdown tracking the deadline for nations to stay in check. In Abuja, awareness is on ahead of the Climate Emergency Day as nations race against time to beat the clock. Charles Alpha brings us details.
22nd of July 2024 will mark the clock ticking over at 5 o'clock in the evening as Nigeria joins climate clock groups across the globe to mark the 3rd annual Climate Emergency Day in a direct call on leaders to act in time and prevent the 1.5 degrees Celsius of global warming. In Nigeria, a group of climate advocates on the march are demanding an increase in budget allocation for climate change.
Basically, what that means is that we have less than 4 years to avoid the catastrophic impact of climate change, where we'll have limited time to change what is already happening.
We are saying fossil fuel is harmful to the environment, to the planet, and we are saying the right part of the face, which is clean energy, which is clean. So we are saying the government should invest more in renewable energy.
We are here to demand that more women should be represented. Even in the international climate discourse, we have less than 35% of women.
The call for this year's Climate Emergency Day 2024 is focused specifically on divestment from fossil fuels and investment in a collective future, with fossil fuels accounting for over 75% of greenhouse gas emissions and 90% of carbon dioxide emissions, trapping the sun's heat. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
To other news, motorists plying Gombe-Bauchi Federal Highway do not wish that the rainy season comes again. Emmanuel Akila reports that road users are not saying they do not like the season, but because of the challenges of bad road whenever it rains, and they are worried.
In August 2023, there was a total collapse of a culvert on the road at Kalchanga village, which attracted attention of governors of Gombe and Bauchi states.
We need that road to be restored, and what we need is bridges and complete rehabilitation of this road, reconstruction, because this road is nearly 50 years old. It cannot stand.
If it rains, you may end up not having an access road and all that.
Remedial work was done to provide a narrow corridor for motorists. It was a dangerous corridor with high risks of vehicles collision. Thanks to the Northeast Development Commission for intervening, the culvert has been replaced with a bridge.
At least with the construction of this bridge at Kalachanga, motorists will heave a sigh of relief on the Bauchi-Gombe road, which presents challenges to them over the years. And ahead of us is also a portion requiring the construction of a bridge, and that has been the condition of the road for years. Could this be a confirmation of the position of an engineer from the Federal Ministry of Works, who says the Bauchi-Gombe road has overlived its years?
The road has now extended its elastic limit or design limit. It's up to 50 years.
The federal government, more especially Federal Ministry of Work, they should do an emergency work, an emergency, reliable, dependable road, not just to construct something that after 2 to 3 years we will face the same problem.
From Kalchanga village on the Bauchi-Gombe road, I am Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Now, the marketing campaign of Good Mama Detergent, a brand from Eco Supreme Resources Nigeria Limited, titled the Niger Queen Open Market Fashion Show, storms Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, with fun and glamour. Ayomiku Ajibola reports that the campaign is to solidify the brand's position as a preferred detergent brand in Nigeria.
This Niger Queen Open Market Fashion Show campaign by Good Mama Detergent is to emphasize the company's commitment to recognizing Nigerian women and connect with their esteemed customers who are primarily women retailers, wholesalers, and distributors across the country. Brand manager, Good Mama Detergent, Ramat Aruna, said the innovation, which is the first of its kind in Nigeria, created a venue to appreciate courageous women who skillfully balance their aspiration with family responsibilities.
Good Mama, we understand their aspiration, their goals, we know their pain, and we say, oh, let's come and celebrate with them, and also to drive memorable experience with consumers and our customers in the market.
The objective of this is to, bring our wholesalers and retailers together, have fun, and at the same time keep patronizing our products.
People who sell Good Mama are beautiful women. They are people who have class and have standards, and it has shown very brilliantly in the program that we have done today.
The show, which featured contests such as Best Dressed, Best Hairstyle, Best Makeup, and coveted Slay Mama and Slay Queen's title, saw those who emerged winners rewarded.
Thank God. I went to Cotton Star,
Launched in Nigeria to provide an effective powder detergent at pocket-friendly price, Good Mama has earned the trust of Nigeria customers and is now one of the country's leading detergent brands. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Thank you, Ayo. Now, 58 Nigerian women and children have been rescued from human traffickers, bringing the total number of rescued Nigerians in Accra in the last 3 months to 105. Chairman, NIDO Board of Trustees in Ghana, Callistus Elozi Uwa, disclosed this to Chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabere Erewa, during a stopover visit on trafficked victims at the location in Accra. A breakdown of those rescued by the Commission's head of media and public relations, Abdurrahman Balogun, showed that Kano had 47, Katsina 5, Jigawa 2, and Kaduna 4. 11 girls earlier rescued in the care of NIDO BOT Chairman and Acting Nigerian High Commissioner in Ghana have also been returned to Nigeria. The statement adds that some of the suspected agents have been apprehended and handed over to security agencies and NAPTIP for necessary profiling and prosecution. The rescued women and children on arrival to Nigeria will be profiled by NAPTIP, rehabilitated by the various state governments, and reunited with their families. To drug interception, drug consignments hidden in ladies' wears and other prohibited substances have been seized in Lagos at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim has details of this and other weekly operations of the agency.
It was a busy week for anti-narcotic men at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. First, a businessman was on Thursday, 18th July, arrested at his Lagos residence after a consignment of 40 parcels of loud hidden in packs of chessboards, Scrabbles, checkers, and poker sets brought in from Canada was intercepted at the Sako import shed of the Lagos airport during a joint examination of the cargo with men of the Customs Service. In the same vein, NDLEA operatives at the Sako exports shed of the airport on Friday, 19th July, intercepted 2 jumbo bags going to Pakistan. The bags contained food items which were used to conceal 4 parcels of cocaine and 14 parcels of loud. Further investigation led to the arrest of a businesswoman in connection with the seizure. Also at the Lagos airport, NDLEA operative on Thursday, 18th July, intercepted a male Beninese passenger traveling with a bag containing some female native dresses. The suspect was going to Dubai via Accra, Ghana. Thorough search of the bag revealed 8 parcels of loud concealed in the lady's native wares. Meanwhile, a 48-year-old person with disability, male, was arrested by NDLEA operatives in his house at Yawuri town, Kebbi State, with 6 bags of cannabis on Tuesday, 16th July. In Abuja, 2 suspects were arrested by NDLEA operatives on Monday, 15th July, with 30 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance along Kwali-Gwagwalada Abuja Expressway on their way from Lagos to Nasarawa State. They claim to be supplying illegal miners operating in the area. Equally, in Plateau State, a raid on the storehouse of a notorious drug dealer who is currently at large at Rukuba Road, Jos, led to the recovery of 34 bags of cannabis while his manager was arrested. Operations that led to different discoveries were carried out in Osun, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, and Ondo states. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
A bit on the foreign scene, President Joe Biden steps down of America's 2024 presidential race, endorses Vice President Kamala Harris ahead of party's convention. Kolo Mohammed brings us details.
The U.S. president, who is the Democratic Party presidential candidate, announced that he will end his candidacy for re-election, saying it is in the best interest of his party and the country. This is coming 4 months before Americans go to polls. The announcement by the oldest sitting president in the United States history came amid mounting pressure from his fellow Democrats, with more than 30 Congress members publicly pushing for his exit. Other high-profile figures, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, were behind the scenes, reportedly encouraging Biden to step down. Kolom Muhammad, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu extends his warm congratulations to Eniola Bello, Managing Director of this day newspaper, as he turns 60. Bello is a seasoned editor, columnist, and media leader. The president joins the Nigerian media community to celebrate the respected journalist whose columns continue to provoke thoughts and stir minds as well as consciences at home and abroad. President Tinubu wishes Mr. Bello good health and many more eventful years in his calling. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu extends his condolences to the government and people of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam over the passing of General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong. He was the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, head of the Politburo and Central Military Commission, and leader who served as president from 2018 to 2021. President Tinubu also commiserates with the widow of the late Vietnamese leader, expressing his profound sympathy over the loss. He assures the people of Vietnam of Nigeria's solidarity at this time of grief. Talking sports, 5 days from now, the 2024 Paris Olympics will officially begin, with Team Nigeria declaring their battle ready. Today on our Olympics countdown with Bade Adeleye, the focus is on Nigeria's representatives in the football event.
Welcome to the Paris 2024 Olympics countdown. Now, Nigeria will be featuring in the women's football event of the Olympics for the first time since 2008. Their return evidently excites football enthusiasts after a tough qualifying campaign.
It's a dream come true. I'm pretty sure a lot of players in their careers dream to, be in this kind of atmosphere.
There's nothing more than for them to go there and replicate more than what they did at the World Cup. Tell the world that what you did at the World Cup is not fluke.
However, a tougher challenge awaits them at the Olympics, with the team grouped alongside Brazil, Spain and Japan. Campaign has begun and the squad list is also out. But can they overcome the initial hurdle?
It's going to be a lot of rumble in the ruffle, but I'm looking forward to seeing Nigeria qualify from that group with expectations and optimism.
We can get a slot out of the group. Yeah, if you want to be a champion, you have to play with everything. You have to start telling the world from the preliminary stage that yes, you have arrived. If Nigeria can come out of that group, they must have ended up sending 2 of the world superpower back home. Then they are narrowing down the road to being a champion.
Having experienced players who have traded abroad, who have paid their dues, like our captain, Rashidat, we will certainly stand a chance to scale out of the group stage challenge.
They say to be the best, you need to beat the best. The Falcons set up their training base in Spain and played some friendlies before jetting out to France.
The preparation has been amazing. Everyone is in good shape, mentally, physically, of course, emotionally as well. So, yeah, we're ready.
Camp's been great. I mean, the players have been excited. They've been sharp. They've been worked hard. I like what I've seen in this camp. It's been a very, very productive camp for us. Coming out of the World Cup and recognizing we can play against the best teams in the world, and I think the players are full of that confidence, and that's probably the biggest improvement I've seen.
That's a countdown for today. I am Bade Adeleye.
Thank you, Bade. Now, the administration of President Bola Tinubu has recorded some milestones in its efforts to deliver on the mandate given to him by Nigerians. Various policies and interventions have been designed and have been implemented to improve the lives of Nigerians in different sectors. Stay with the NTA for an assessment of the strides of the administration in line with its renewed hope agenda on a new program, Executive Recap, on the NTA network, coming up tonight at 10:30 and every Sunday. And on that note, we conclude the news segment. Captain Claire is still on the line. Stay with us.